The truth is still missing. Midnight Case Files.
Have you ever heard of a mystery so disturbing that even after more than 65 years, experts still can't agree on what really happened? Imagine this. 9 experienced hikers enter a remote mountain range deep in the Soviet Union. They're young, they're healthy, they're trained to survive some of the harshest conditions on Earth. But none of them ever make it home. What rescuers discovered weeks later would shock investigators, inspire countless theories, and create one of the most chilling mysteries in modern history. This is the Dyatlov Pass Incident, and to this day, nobody can say with absolute certainty what happened on that frozen mountain. Welcome back to Midnight Case Files. Tonight, we're traveling to the icy wilderness of Russia, where a hiking expedition turned into a nightmare that still haunts investigators decades later. Let's open the file. It was January 1959. A group of 9 experienced hikers, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, set out on a challenging expedition across the Ural Mountains. These weren't amateurs. They were skilled adventurers with experience in extreme winter conditions. The journey started normally. They documented everything with photographs and journals. The group seemed confident, organized, and in good spirits. Then, suddenly, they vanished. When search teams finally located their campsite weeks later, they found something that made no sense. The hiker's tent had been cut open from the inside. Not the outside, the inside. It looked as if the group had desperately escaped in the middle of the night. Even stranger, many of them fled into freezing temperatures wearing little or no winter clothing. Some were barefoot. Others wore only socks. The first bodies were found near a forest. More were discovered months later after the snow melted. And that's when the mystery became even darker. Several victims suffered severe internal injuries. One was missing her tongue. Others had injuries compared to those seen in high-speed car crashes. Yet there were no signs of a struggle and no evidence of another person being present. So what happened? Over the years, theories exploded across the internet. Avalanches, military experiments, secret weapons testing, even paranormal encounters. But here's my analysis. When we separate facts from sensational theories, the most likely explanation appears to be a combination of natural forces and human panic. Modern investigations suggest that unusual snow conditions may have created a delayed avalanche threat. If the hikers believed the mountain slope was collapsing, they may have cut their way out of the tent and fled quickly. Once outside in extreme darkness and temperatures below freezing, survival became nearly impossible. Hypothermia, confusion, poor visibility, and desperate decisions could explain many of the strange details that followed. But even if that explanation is correct, one uncomfortable question remains. Why did such experienced hikers make so many fatal choices? And that's exactly why the Dyatlov Pass incident continues to fascinate people today. Because sometimes the scariest mysteries aren't supernatural at all. Sometimes they're reminders of how powerful nature can be, and how quickly everything can go wrong. What do you think happened on that mountain? Was it simply a tragic natural disaster, or is there still a missing piece of the story? Let us know your theory in the comments. And if you enjoy mysterious disappearances, unsolved cases, and the darkest stories history has to offer, subscribe to Midnight Case Files and join us for the next investigation. Because somewhere in the shadows, another mystery is waiting to be uncovered.